Welcome to those who have joined us all here on a beautiful, clear evening. The conditions contributing to a fantastic atmosphere in the stands. This really is the place to be. I'm Peter Drury, and it's my chance to say that it is an absolute delight to have Jim Beglin beside me.
Hi Peter, it's great to be here.
Colours vivid and vibrant, songs loud and proud. The tone for this game is well and truly set. So things are underway.
Well, that's good defending. He squeezed the play and he gave him no chance to get on the turn. Well, look, they know they've got a height advantage and it's time for them to use it.
Great leap! Went with his head, but couldn't steer it in.
João Palhinha really couldn't have done much better with that. He was under so much pressure.
Corner number 2 then.
Solanke!
Now he wants to get in on the act here.
Well, the breakthrough hasn't come yet, Peter, but you do feel they're upping the ante here. They'll get their reward if they can stick at this.
Now that looks a decent ball. Maddison! And here's Solanke! And Solanke! Oh, and they really should have been made to pay. Now it's Haaland. Jim, who do you reckon is pivotal?
Well, this fella, James Maddison, could be key here, Peter. It's all about how much of the ball he has. You'll often see him drop well below the opposition midfield line to collect the ball, and that's where all that combination play begins. He can beat you in so many ways from that position.
Yes, they'll certainly be leaning heavily on him. Reinders. Now it's Kovacic. Well, it has been just one side doing all of the early probing.
I know it's still early, but they're showing the better signs. No caution from them.
Xavi Simons. That's a sharp pass. And he's worked it through. He's shifted. Solanke! Fantastic from Solanke! A finish of true class. One sweeping move executed with deadly efficiency.
Yeah, when you're hit on the counter-attack like that, it's like walking into a sucker punch and they're dazed.
So the first moment of real significance.
Well, I guess this ought to make things interesting, Peter. No doubt the opposition will now be forced to play a more open and riskier game.
Foden. And he's there to retrieve it. It's a pretty loose pass. That's a cute ball. Well, it's ended up in no man's land. Turns back here, probably the best option. Now it's Kudus. And it's João Palhinha. Vardiol cuts out the pass. And shifted it to the flank. And the two sides separated by the game's only breakthrough moment to this point. And the score is 1-0. Now it's Kudus. Kudus. That's going wide left. Maddison receives it in a wide position. Vardiol attempts a clearance. João Palhinha. Doku. Reinders. Here's Haaland. And that's another good win of the ball. And it's Porro. Pedro Porro crosses it in here. Gehi getting this one clear. Gehi deals with that comfortably. Lewis.
It's the sort of situation that they'll want to capitalise on now.
30 minutes gone. Rodri. The most accurate pass. Now it's Kovacic. Lewis. Gehi. Ruben Dias. Well, that's beautifully weighted. Goes for a shot! And he should have made them pay.
That's really well played. It's just the type of run you need. Off the shoulder of the last defender, stay onside.
And it's Kovacic. Foden. Now it's Kudus. Udogi. It's loose now and they want to get it back. Oh, he's enjoyed that. He evidently loves the contest. Well, we expected better and so did he. Vicario sends that a long way. And it's Simons. Pedro Porro. Simons.
There's much frustration as to the lack of a touch to finish that off.
Rodri. And it's Lewis. Gehi.
Have beautifully policed that midfield. The opposition have been handcuffed.
Spread it left. Vardiol. Here's Rodri. Pass somewhat off target. And he's only too happy to take that back. Lovely, now then. Kovacic. Reinders. And it's Kovacic.
There will be 1 minute at a
Nicely
time.
spread. Now Lewis. Rodri. Maddison gets a foot in here. João Palhinha. Kudus. Tries to play it. And Solanke! That's the end of the first 45. Well, it's certainly simmered along nicely so far. Just the one goal in it, and it's all still very much up for grabs. How do you look back on the first 45 minutes?
Well, it's obvious, Peter, that this team was set up to play on the break, and their opponents pretty much played right into their hands, so no wonder they've got their tails up at half-time.
Tottenham with the game's only breakthrough. It's 1-0. So we're off again. Tottenham currently ahead by the smallest of margins. And they win it back again. Maddison. Now it's Solanke. Udogi chips it through. He's in a great position here. Excellent challenge there, uncompromising. Maddison showed plenty of zest in getting to the ball, but couldn't quite sort it out. Pedro Porro. Can he get on the end of this? And it's made its way to him. It's all a little bit desperate, but it's got the job done.
Yeah, they showed a vulnerability until the move was stifled. That'll have stirred a little concern.
That's going to go a long way. Oh, lovely feed. He is such a good mover. João Palhinha. Kudus. Reinders.
Well, Peter, just see here how a lot of the attacking players aren't dropping back anymore.
And that means just one thing, I suppose.
Yeah, they just simply want to engage the counter-attack.
And it's Kovacic. And there's green grass ahead of him. Tottenham are still that goal to the good. Reinders. Foot in. Maddison. That has been slung wide. And here's Solanke! Oh, he's given that plenty, but no.
Well, there wasn't too much wrong with his effort. He needs to get on the ball again and give it another crack. I would.
Could be danger here. Vardiol. Now it's Reinders. Romero proves too strong. Your impression so far, Jim?
Well, I'm inclined to feel that if I was in that dugout, I'd want the players to get on the front foot and grab another. Just try to make this one safe.
Udogi. And it's João Palhinha. And here's Kudus. Maddison. He's on it. And Solanke! Another big chance that gets away.
Tottenham really have stepped it up now. They could have been a bit more greedy and forced the issue.
Kovacic. Reinders. And Kovacic. Romero makes the interception. And it's João Palhinha. And here's Solanke. Nicely weighted ball.
Solanke clearly held on to it far too long there. Did he do enough to find someone? He looked as if he had his mind set on trying to do everything his way.
Oh, he's one-on-one! Great chance! And a neat finish! Do not write them off! Back they come!
Yeah, and he did well not to stray offside there as well, Peter. He just seemed to instinctively know when the ball was going to be delivered, and he got it right.
It's starting to look very interesting, this.
This is exactly the kind of contest you'd expect when you have so much class from both sides. The next goal is going to be so significant.
Maddison. Udogi. Shot could be on. Solanke! And that's a sharp finish. And they're back in front. And he's done it again. He's got his second. Tottenham have their lead.
Well, it's better late than never, Peter, and that's potentially decisive now. They've got to be quick moving this forward.
Looking for a runner. Oh, Red, nice interception.
I think the message here is quite clear, Peter. They want another one.
Can he finish? It's run loose. Who's going to get there? Good ball, good take. Well, that pass isn't the best. The less said about that pass, the better. Kovacic. Foden. Gets a good foot in there. Van de Ven. And João Palhinha. And it's Porro. And here's Kudus. And here's Solanke. That is good pressure, just hounded him off it. There's a beautiful simplicity about this contest. Willing running on one side, dogged defence on the other. But where it came from.
Tottenham really wanted that two-goal cushion, but it wasn't to be. Still, they should be able to see it out from here.
Van der Ven does well to get it back. And he's hit it long. Well timed, excellent interception. And it's Reinders. And here's Foden.
There will be 1 minute.
Oh, it's come loose. And here's Haaland. Nicely aimed pass. And that's it. Tottenham have emerged victorious in this match of thrills. The odd goal ultimately proving the difference. Solanke picking up. So hello and welcome to everybody who has joined us for the build-up to this occasion of ultimate tribalism. And as you would expect, that build-up has been remarkable. They fight here not just for the pride of their manor, but in the ultimate show of one-upmanship. Well, colour and passion just oozing from the stands here. These fans love their football, and we're about to be dished up a feast of it. So the gloves are off, Jim.
Yeah, well, I think it's going to be a game where the two key words are pride and courage, Peter. Pride in that you have to be prepared to fight for everything, and courage to be daring, to stand up and to commit yourself.
We are just getting started. Played back to the goalkeeper. Gakpo, Soboslai. Jim, who do you pick out as the telling individual today?
Well, a player that's very much moulded in the role of the traditional Spanish number 5 is Rodri. He certainly has the sort of physique that would allow him to do the job. He has both the muscle and the brains to provide the creative and defensive support whenever necessary.
He would be the obvious choice, wouldn't he? He certainly has all the right qualities. Haaland. That's a good ball out wide. And it's Soboslai. Rodri running with the ball. Now looking to orchestrate a counter. Fair to say, I think, a cautious start from both teams. Now it's Haaland. Can he get on the end of this? Kerkez. Gakpo.
Well, caution is dominating proceedings. This isn't meeting expectations.
Kovacic. Well, that pass surprised everyone, and not in a good way. And the keeper's got it again. And it's Kerkez. Gakpo. Looking to pass their way up the pitch. And he's in on goal. Delivers with wit. Doku. Well, that looks a decent ball. Oh, that's a key interception. Gomez. Kerkez. Long ball by the goalkeeper. Chiesa. Reinders. Vardiol. Looking for the run. Well, it just petered out. No penetration at all, having had a great deal of the ball. Great vision.
Well, it's a move of great promise, but will it really prove productive?
And that's gone behind for a goal kick. Kerkez, done delicately. Oh, well played, well sorted out. Gehi. Foden. Now it's Reinders. And it's Rodri. 30 minutes gone. It's a pretty loose pass. Konate. And it's Reinders. Vardiol. And here's Reinders. Now it's Foden. Gakpo. And there's his chance to lead the counter. McAllister. Ekitike. So still we are where we began. It's 0-0. Kovacic. And it's Reinders. This is a promising build-up. Soboslai. Gomez. And here's Chiesa. Oh, he's done very well to take that back. Lewis. Passing is crisp and sharp. Frimpong.
I wouldn't fancy playing up front in these circumstances, to be honest. There's absolutely no supply.
Played through for him. Haaland! And it's a goal!
That couldn't have been a more potent injection of belief for this team. Top man, top drawer.
So smooth, a signature finish.
Well, you've always got to have players that are willing to make the runs, and when you keep plugging away, that will happen.
So we have the first goal.
Well, I think the managers are going to have to scrap whatever they had in mind for the half-time team talks. One has got to tone it up now, and the other has to tone it down.
And that brings the first half to a close. Well, there were plenty of talking points in that first half, but just the one goal. It's still anybody's game here. Liverpool go in at half-time with a game to chase.
It's been a pretty tepid display. They'll want to use this break wisely to regroup and come out with some fresh initiatives. This is all still very salvageable, maybe even winnable.
Well, that is the first half done, and we are ready for what follows in the second. And so the action is resumed.
Well, I think in these circumstances, it's all about how to adjust the balance of your team. I mean, you want to get back in it as soon as possible, but without leaving yourself too open.
Vardiol. Kovacic. So what can they make of this? Van Dijk promptly onto that, and that is that. Gomez. And it's Frimpong. Nicely weighted ball. And he's straight offside. Yehi. Ruben Dias. And Reinders. Chiesa. Defending was strong and firm. Forward tracking back like that, always appreciated by the crowd.
Yeah, listen, we often get critical of a forward's tackle, but that was squeaky clean.
And here's Chiesa. Chiesa! And he's there to clear it. And smartly reclaimed. It's a searching pass. Liverpool still this single goal behind. Well, they've got it back in a hurry. Well, good play on the left-hand side here. And here's Reinders. And it's Kovacic. Now it's Haaland. McAllister.
The attendance for this match was
So, what are you thinking?
Liverpool are not doing enough to get themselves back in the game. They're not as threatening as their opposition. It's got to change.
Pass somewhat off target. Might be danger here.
Well, that's certainly more like it. They can't let the intensity drop now, Peter.
They're coming again and again.
A lucky break would certainly help their cause now.
Tries a shot! Oh, he's going to be pulled back for that one. Vardiol. Oh, he's felt that, hasn't he? Doku. Not the most convincing of passes. Now it's Kovacic. It's a really well-measured ball. That's a shade optimistic.
Well, Peter, just see here how a lot of the attacking players aren't dropping back anymore.
And that means just one thing, I suppose.
Yeah, they just simply want to engage the counter-attack.
That is ended up in no man's land. Threads one in. That looks a cracking ball. Yehi, played out towards the right wing, and it's Kovacic. Now it's Foden. He has found the way through. Lewis. And it's hoisted clear. Gakpo.
They want to be quick here. It's breakaway time.
McAllister. Frimpong. Oh, cracking. Goes for a shot! And a truly agonising miss.
Szoboszlai was already celebrating in his head and probably still can't process how the keeper denied him. What a stop.
They've got a healthy number of very tall targets to pick out from this corner.
Decent attempt, but not quite good enough. Doku. Pass is coming off in quick succession here. The pressing's intense, and it's paid off.
If they want to counter, they could do with more speed.
And it's Kirkes.
Liverpool really are showing all the necessary urgency, but it's potency they need.
Chiesa. He's on it, can he get it? And he shoots! Brilliantly cut out. This looks promising. And the shot! And that could have brought them level.
Oh, they really needed him to put that away.
Tries to pass it through. Oh, that's fabulous.
Well, it's probably safe to say now, Peter, that it's going to be all about game management from here.
Plays it through.
Variety is the spice of footballing life too. They need to alter their approach and start shifting this ball out wide.
Lewis is wide and looking to get onto this. And it is clear to see that he is not at all happy with that.
Encourage the pass with an intelligent run, but the pass just lacked pace.
And that is as far as it goes. So in the end, one goal did it. An exciting encounter where both sides produced a genuine effort to go on and win it, but neither was able to add to the scoreline in the end.
This is a hard one to take, but we'll be
Well,
back
how will we
stronger.
look back? Hello and welcome one and all. The atmosphere building very nicely here. Gorgeous, gorgeous evening. The skies are clear, the noise is fervent, the atmosphere frenetic. I'm Peter Drury and this is Jim Beglin. A delight to have him on board.
Well, thanks, Peter. There's a great sense of anticipation in this stadium, and I've been hit by it too.
Just listen to that noise. This place is definitely up for it. Let's hope we get a contest worthy of the setting. Big chance! He's scored! An extraordinary start! Breakthrough in next to no time!
That's the perfect confidence boost they needed. Brilliant.
Just gorgeous. The most glorious, delicious of touches. Followed up with an unerring finish.
Well, I think he knew all he had to do was get it under control, and it was always going to end up in the back of the net thereafter.
I doubt very much that this was in the script. Looking to pass their way up the pitch. He's under a lot of pressure there. He's in a good position here. Mbappe! He's got a goal! And the lead lost no time at all.
Well, if ever you want to see a lesson in responding to a deficit, that's it. Their heads didn't drop, and now their chins are up. Well, I don't want to be overly harsh on the defensive side of things here, Peter, but the build-up was so slick and executed with such quality, it made life just that bit too difficult for them.
So they have it all to do again.
Well, there's resilience for you, Peter. As a side, they never lost focus despite the setback, and this is thoroughly merited. For me, now they can...
And the shot! And he's done it! What a moment of brilliance, control and perfect accuracy.
Yeah, the touch before the finish is so often the critical part, and we've just seen an example.
Madrid with the lead.
This is wonderful front-footed football. The manager will be absolutely thrilled to see his team clicking in every department.
And once more he proves rigid and robust. Now it's McAllister. Valverde. Now it's Mbappe. McAllister. And it's Szoboszlai. And again, he's sorted that out terrifically. Just about midway through the first half, and it has been an engaging watch. Alisson sends that a long way. Alexander-Arnold. Alexander-Arnold. Now it's Rodrigo. Rodrigo is sporting a guilty look after that.
Well, that's down to a simple miscalculation. No more, no less.
Some intricate passing, looking to progress the ball. Takes a shot! Oh, cracking effort.
Gakpo certainly made the right decision there to hit it first time. I had the feeling he might try it the way the ball arrived.
Well, I wouldn't quite advise they should resort to risk-taking at this stage. There's plenty of time left yet.
And it's made its way to him. Lovely pass, but can he get there? Expertly cut out, really nicely done. Well, the idea was a good one. The execution of it, not quite so.
His teammates are really annoyed with that, you know, and they have every right to be.
And he was quick to react. Valverde. Looking for a runner. Camavinga. For Valverde. Played out to the left flank. Vinicius Junior stood his ground strongly. Passing is crisp and sharp. And that's gone loose. Valverde was alert to the possibilities, but in the end it's fruitless. Madrid have got it back and they'll have another go. Can he get on the end of it? And the shot! And for a moment, time stood still.
That's great reading of the game, and it led to a decent chance. Cracking aggression.
Madrid with their first corner, the first in the game for either side, actually. Keeper has taken decisive action. And now they can spring out of defence. Now it's Mbappe. Well, that pass isn't the best. Ekitike, given the lift of his goal. Soboslai. Now it's Gakpo. Oh, important interception. Approaching half-time and still behind. Can they make something happen now? Now this could be a chance. Van Dijk cuts out the pass. Gakpo. And it's Kerkez. He's on it, can he get away? Plays a sharp little ball here. McAllister. Ekitike. And here's Mohamed Salah. Just past the 40th minute mark. Ekitike is onto this. Valverde, who's set up one goal so far. Turns back here, probably the best option. Kerkez. Camavinga. Kerkez. Knocks it out wide. Now, can they get him away?
2 added minutes has been indicated.
It is a corner, good chance. This possibly the last play of the half. Camavinga gets it away. Oh, it's a nice idea, but the execution was lacking. Now then, the ball's come loose. And it's McAllister. Mohamed Salah. That is a brilliant the referee says that is that for the first half. It's been thrills and spills at either end in the first half. Neither side really seizing the initiative, and both teams still very much in it. So there was the first half.
Well, I've been left almost breathless here, Peter. This is frantic stuff. 45 minutes just seem to fly by. Here's hoping both teams can maintain this level.
Well, that is the first half done, and we are ready for what follows in the second. The second half is up and running.
Well, I think in these circumstances, it's all about how to adjust the balance of your team. I mean, you want to get back in it as soon as possible, but without leaving yourself too open.
Vinicius Junior. Now it's Vinicius Junior. And it's been played through. Now he's running away. Chance for a shot! Mbappe! Irrepressible! About as smooth as it gets. A 2-goal lead, and they're firmly in control. The lightness of step, the sharpness of movement, the certainty of finish.
I'm not making any apologies, but I was willing him to supply the finish, and he came up trumps.
And he's done it again. He's got his second. Well, that has changed the dynamic somewhat.
Well, this is nothing less than they deserve, Peter. They're in the driving seat now.
Look, they've had their chance to regroup and rethink. Now they've got to stir a revival.
Frimpong. So, Jim, is that the manager telling the forwards that they must stay forward for now?
Well, I think he just is concentrating on the shape here, and he wants them to press as high as they can and get in the right position to do that collectively.
That's a sharp pass. Now it's Mohamed Salah. Now there's a fine ball. Valverde.
The
Camavinga.
attendance for this match was 29,514.
So we've reached the hour mark. Valverde. Foot in. Ekitike. Now it's Mohamed Salah. Lovely pass, but can he get there? Carreras. Valverde. Now it's Camavinga. Now it's Mbappe. Tries to play it through. Frimpong. That is ended up in no man's land. Tries to pass it through. Mohamed Salah picks it up out wide. Valverde. Chouameni. Camavinga. Rodrigo. McAllister. And here's Mohamed Salah. Frimpong. Oh, that's fabulous. Mohamed Salah. This looks promising. Valverde. Camavinga. For Valverde. Carreras. That's been cut out, well played. Well, that is not the best ball, and he offers an apologetic look.
He made it look a bit predictable.
Mbappe! McAllister. And it's Kirkes. Now it's Gakpo. Great vision. Not the worst cross in the world, but still room for improvement. And it's Kirkes. Mohamed Salah. McAllister. Valverde. Now it's Mbappe. Now that looks a decent ball. Now it's Mbappe. Konate gets a foot in here. Frimpong. To McAllister. Mohamed Salah. And it's Frimpong. Salah. McAllister. Now Kirkes. Nicely weighted ball. Now it's Gakpo. Rodrigo. Mbappe. Vinicius Junior. In the end, they found themselves penned in, nowhere to go. Eder Militao gets across to intercept that. Ekitike. Is there any support? He might not need it. It's all a little bit desperate, but it's got the job done.
Yeah, they showed a vulnerability until the move was stifled. That'll have stirred a little concern.
McAllister, spread to the right. Passes coming off in quick succession here. And the finish! Oh, that was no routine save.
That's very, very good. You can't ask for much more than that. They've got a healthy number of very tall targets to pick out from this corner.
And it's McAllister. And he's cut it out. And that is it. The referee has seen enough. A game that is a tale of one that got away. A position of great promise they established, but they lost momentum, they lost intensity, they lost their lead, and ultimately they lost the game.
Today for everybody to please kindly.
How do you look back on the game then, Jim?
Well, there was a distinct lack of clarity or commitment in everything the players were trying to do. Looking pretty lethargic, and they were ruthlessly exploited.
Hello and welcome one and all. The atmosphere building very nicely here. Gorgeous, gorgeous evening. The skies are clear, the noise is fervent, the atmosphere frenetic. I'm Peter Drury, and joining me here, our expert, Jim Beglin.
Cheers, Peter. It's a privilege to be here. It really is.
Well, colour and passion just oozing from the stands here. These fans love their football, and we're about to be dished up a feast of it. Things already rolling.
Isak really needed to concentrate on protecting the ball. Then again, he was being very closely marshalled.
Now it's Dembele, looking to pass their way up the pitch. He's picked his way through, and the goalkeeper's got a good palm to that. And here's Dembele.
Well, he got rid because he was under pressure.
Oh, that's fabulous. Oh, no joy this time. And it's Neves. And he is dashing all. It's Dembele! Dembele! Brilliant!
Well, this is already looking rather ominous for the opposition. When a player of his calibre can open up the scoring with a brilliantly classy finish, it could be a very long match for that defence to prevent it happening again.
Liverpool finding themselves unexpectedly behind. Fabian Ruiz. Now it's Doué. João Neves. And Hakimi. Vitinha. Dembele thinks about the shot. Oh, he's been caught napping. McAllister now looking to orchestrate a counter. Oh, well played, well sorted out.
Well, I wouldn't quite advise they should resort to risk-taking at this stage. There's plenty of time left yet.
Marquinhos. Paris Saint-Germain are inclined to exhibit a more cavalier approach to the game, Jim.
Yeah, possession-based football can be expansive and stylish, provided you have enough ballers in your team and someone who can dictate the tempo. It's not a style that anyone can necessarily play easily, Peter.
Fabian Ruiz. Dembele. Paris Saint-Germain are looking to break at pace. Dembele takes a shot! And he's managed to get rid. McAllister. And it's Frimpong. Mohamed Salah. Mendes gets a foot in here. João Neves. And this is Dembele. That ball looks a good one. And this is Dembele. Oh, Dembele! Wanted to outwit the keeper, but a shade off target.
Well, the correct option was taken in the circumstances. The correct execution wasn't.
And he cuts out the supply. Now it's Dembele. Szoboszlai. Muscular approach does pay off here. Now it's Mohamed Salah. He's in a great position here. He'll try from distance! And kept out by the most elastic of saves.
Isak clearly thought he had the beating of the keeper.
They've got a healthy number of very tall targets to pick out from this corner.
Isak! Oh, he's given that plenty, but no.
Yeah, it's good movement though. A bit unlucky he couldn't actually steer it goalwards.
Vitinha. Fabian Ruiz. Pacho. Foot in. Aimed beyond the defence. And he's in on goal. He's having a shot! Goal! They have come roaring back.
Well, it looks like we have ourselves a real game here now, Peter. They've been rewarded for their courage, for their attitude, for their application, and now they'll want another.
Well, was he ever going to miss that? Of course he wasn't.
Some great movement here, and the pass was perfect. All he had to do was just apply the finishing touch.
It's starting to look very interesting, this.
This is exactly the kind of contest you'd expect when you have so much class from both sides. The next goal is going to be so significant.
Well, a glitch with the rangefinder there, and evident annoyance.
Clearly is miffed, having made the run and not get picked out.
That looks a cracking ball. Kirkes. Pinches it off him. McAllister. It's a really well-measured ball. He is through here. Terrific effort. And no mistake. And the comeback is complete. Satisfyingly simple. There's almost a sense of beauty to this.
He did so well there, attacking the ball the way he did. He got a strong forehead behind that one.
2 added minutes has been indicated.
And now he has 2. Well, this is what we've been waiting for.
Well, they've done the hard part now, Peter. Can they cling on? Or even better, can they get another?
Well, that pass isn't the best. The whistle's gone, and that's it for the first half. Well, we have quite a thrilling narrative here. Despite their early setback, they are now the ones in the driving seat, and all of a sudden things are looking pretty rosy. So there was the first half.
Well, I've been left almost breathless here, Peter. This is frantic stuff. 45 minutes just seem to fly by. Here's hoping both teams can maintain this level.
Liverpool are leading by 1 in a finely poised game. It's 2-1 at half-time. So we're straight back at it at the start of the second half. And the finish! And yes, it's there! And this is getting better and better. And that is a goal worthy of universal appreciation. Even the opposing fans have to recognise the quality there.
Oh, it was a real beauty, Peter, and while many might have just lashed out at it, he took his time and he put it where very few can.
And there was his third, and boy, he looks the biz. Can he finish?
Well, he certainly wasn't in the mood to take any risks.
It's not an especially good pass, that. Fabian Ruiz. Oh, that was vital. Well, the runner's been sold a little bit short there.
Well, I think the opposition saw that pass coming a mile off, and it wasn't the best decision.
Gakpo finding himself in space. Not the most accurate pass. João Neves. Vitinha. Looking to play him in. There's the shot! It's fallen kindly here. A collective sigh of relief from the defence.
You lucky boy, you lucky boy. Giving the ball away like that is usually punished.
It's their second corner of the game. And that has been cleared. And now they can spring out of defence. Now it's Isak. Now it's Dembele. Looking for options for movement. Frimpong promptly onto that, and that is that.
Well, Peter, just see here how a lot of the attacking players aren't dropping back anymore.
And that means just one thing, I suppose.
Yeah, they just simply want to engage the counter-attack.
Mendes attempts a clearance.
The attendance for this match was
Kvaratskhelia.
29,830.
Nuno Mendes. Here's Vitinha. And it's Neves. And this is Dembele. Szoboszlai. Shifted it to the flank. Can he get it through? He's in plenty of space here. Nicked it back promptly. And here's Szoboszlai. Chance! Oh, off the bar! Hakimi. And here's Gakpo. Engages and forces him off the ball. João Neves. And it's Ruiz. Nuno Mendes. Kvaratskhelia in acres of space out wide. And they're back on the ball again. And that should get the job done. Isak was only too happy to help out in defence.
Well, it's not a surprise to see that these days, all part of a forward's duties.
That has been slung wide. Now that looks a decent ball. And the assistant referee has his flag raised for offside. Marquinhos. Vitinha. Some intricate passing, looking to progress the ball. And Hakimi plays a sharp little ball here. Szoboszlai into the last quarter of an hour. Oh, it's a nice idea, but the execution was lacking. Well, that is not the best ball, and he offers an opponent. Real chance! It's a goal! That really is quite fabulous. All his own doing.
Oh, that's wonderful to see. The run was explosive, the finish exquisite.
Paris Saint-Germain cut their deficit and look raring to go again.
Well, I think they have every chance of levelling this now, Peter, but they've got to stay calm and not go completely gung-ho.
He's got plenty of space out wide here.
Liverpool clearly have been instructed to kill this off. Offence is the best form of defence.
Fabian Ruiz. And it's Neves. Played out to the left flank. Vitinha. Salah. Now it's Szoboszlai. Paris Saint-Germain needed that. They really needed it.
Yeah, they showed a vulnerability until the move was stifled. That'll have stirred a little concern.
Paris Saint-Germain really can only do one thing now, Peter. Get the ball up front, make sure it sticks, and sustain some pressure.
Shoots! He's got a goal! And a trademark move ends with the inevitable classy finish.
Look, if you want to be effective on the break, then the key element is always pace. That's what really rips defences apart, and it's difficult to find an answer to it when it's applied like that.
So is that the decisive goal? Not much in the way of time remaining.
Well, that's a really bitter blow. I think it's going to be very hard for them to find the character to respond from that.
And here's Isak.
2 minutes has been indicated.
Fabian Ruiz. That's a cute ball. No luck with that dink over the top. They're back in possession and ready to go again. Nuno Mendes. The referee looks at his watch and blows his whistle. Liverpool have done it with iron, with pragmatism, the sort you expect from a team like this. Admirable, enjoyable, and look how they...
Please join me in wishing a
Gakpo
happy
reflecting
wedding
on
anniversary for
a
one of our
stellar
fan club
performance
members.
and now taking home a permanent reminder for his...